Hello, this is your teacher today. My name is Teacher Paul. So I'm glad to teach you this lesson, and I hope one day I'm gonna see you all. So today, before we start, I want to welcome you all in this program. We call this online learning program of our school. So I hope you will enjoy our online program and be excited to learn more and to know more. So before we start our lesson, before we start is to protect. Let's give you I'll give you some ways how to protect ourselves from coronavirus. The first one is wash your hands. So this is the one way to protect ourselves from COVID-19. The second one is wear your mask. So this is very important. Third one is social distancing. So we have to make some distance from our friends, or this is to protect ourselves from infection. Before we start, we have these things to prepare. So first, we need to have our science book. Check if you have your science book. And the second one is pencil. Of course, you need to have your pencil and rubber or eraser. And the last one, notebook. You will use that notebook to write dictation and vocabularies and things that are important for you to learn. Okay, so these are our things to prepare for this lesson. And then let's go on to our topic for today. So our topic is about living and non-living things. Before we go on to that lesson, as we are doing like before, we have dictation. We have 3 words for dictation, and write it down in your notebook for these 3 words for our dictation. The first one is living. Okay, can you say with me? Living. L-I-V-I-N-G. Living. Next, non-living. N-O-N-L-I-V-I-N-G. Non-living. The last one is move. M-O-V-E. Move. Let's do it again. The first one, living. Okay, repeat after me. Living. Next, non-living. You say with me or repeat after me. Non-living. Number 3, move. Move. Okay, you got it? Okay, let's start. Now we will start in our first part of this topic. What is living thing? Alright, so we will look at it. What is living thing? And we have some example of living things in these pictures right now. So the answer is what? What is living thing? Living things are things that are alive. Can you say with me? Living things are things that are alive. Okay, so like monkey, like turtle, bird, people, tree, that leopard or dog. Okay, the example of living things. Okay, what else? Let's look at some more example of living things. So many example of living things. Just look around and you will see example of those living things. So here we go, like butterfly, fish, plants, trees, snakes, and so many more example of living things. Again, living things are things that are alive. Some more description of living things before we go to non-living things. Okay, let's continue. What is living thing? Look at the first one. A living thing can move. Can you say with me? A living thing can move. Oh, don't forget that word, move. The next one, a living thing can grow. Can you say that? A living thing can grow. Yes, grow. The third one, a living thing can change. Change. Next one, a living thing can make more of its own kind or reproduce. A living thing can make more of its kind, of its own kind, or reproduce. The next one, a living thing needs air, water, food, and shelter. A living thing needs water, air, food, and shelter. And the last one, people, animal, and plants are living things. So these are some or expanded or other meanings or about living things. So now let's look at the other one. All right, this is the non-living thing. What is non-living thing? So non-living things, like in this picture, this example. So what can you say about non-living things? Look at that. Think about that. What can you say about non-living things? Can you guess that? Alright, so let's look at that. Non-living things are things that are not alive. There is no life in them. So we call that non-living things. Example, we have bicycle or bike. What else? Table, sock, car, brush, or doll. So these are the examples of non-living things. There is no life in them. Things that are not alive. Alright, so now the difference between living things and non-living things. So what are the difference between these two, living and non-living things? Let's go to the living things first. Living things are, remember that living things are alive. So in order for them to survive, they need one. Yes, so these living things breathe, right? So they breathe. Living things breathe because there's life in them. The living things also need food. They cannot survive if they don't have any food. The living things or living things grow. So that's one thing for living things. They grow. And they need water to survive. So these are descriptions or the things for living things for them to survive and to be alive. Then let's look at the other one. How about non-living things? Non-living things, like the examples that we've got: rocks, chairs, or table, ball, and everything like that. So non-living things, the first one, they don't move. They don't move on their own. They don't grow. They don't need food or water. Don't reproduce. Don't breathe. So they don't have life in them. That's why we call them non-living things. So let's look at exercises for this lesson. Look at those pictures there. We have bicycle or bike, butterfly, car, and the girl there, leaves, and what's that, cake or cupcake. Exercise match column A to column B. So we have A here, and then we have column B. For column A, we have the word grow, need food, breathe. Don't grow, don't breathe, don't need food. Alright, what can you say about that cake or cupcake there? Guess your answer. I'll give you time to think about. Okay, so let's answer it. The answer is yes, don't grow. It's a non-living thing. How about the leaves? You got the answer? This might your answer. Okay, grow. Yes, living things. How about this girl? Oh yeah, she need food. Living thing. How about the bike? What's your answer? Right, the bike don't breathe. How about the butterfly? Oh yes, the butterfly breathe. And the last one, the car. Yes, the answer is don't need food. Alright, so good job. I guess you got all the answer for this lesson, living things and non-living things, and you got all those differences between these two. Remember, living things grow, they need food, they breathe, they reproduce, they're alive. So remember that when we say non-living things, they don't grow, they don't need food, water, or shelter like that, or they don't reproduce. Okay, that's our lesson for today. But before we end up this lesson, let's look at the summary. All right, ready for that summary? The summary for this lesson is: living things are alive. They need food, water, and air to live. They reproduce, grow, change, and respond to changes in the environment. However, non-living things are not alive. They do not need the basic necessities of living things. So these are our summary for this lesson about living things and non-living things. Okay, I hope you understand and you got, or you followed me in this lesson and you learned something for this lesson. So this is the end of our lesson today. As I said again, Thank you for joining with me, and thank you for your attention in this lesson. Bye-bye.